pushed off again? Did I not see that?
The Concord Township Board of Zoning Appeals for July 10, 2019 is now in session. I would like to introduce my board. To my far left is Skip Sweeney and Brandon Dines. I'm Ivan Valentic. To my right is Chris Jarrell and Blair Hamilton. And to our far right is Heather Freeman, our zoning inspector. Under the advice of our legal counsel, we ask that anyone speaking tonight must be sworn in. So if you plan on speaking, please stand and raise your right hand. So if you plan on coming up and presenting at all tonight, please stand and raise your right hand. Okay, do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help me God. If so, say I do. Okay, great. Thank you. Please be seated. This evening, when presenting your case or commenting, you have to come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and please confirm that you've been sworn in for the record. Heather, were the legal notices published in a timely manner?
Yes.
Okay, great. We have one old business thing to kind of just breeze through and one variance tonight. 3-vote majority is required to either approve or deny a variance. First, on old business, appeal number 2018-41 has requested to be tabled again, and we will table that into the following month. Okay? Then on to new business, we have variance number 2019-47. Mr. Michael BZAMtg7-10-2019 is requesting a variance from section 15.03A, table 15.03-1 to allow for the construction of a second accessory building in lieu of the maximum one permitted for the property located at 10215 Bryan Avenue. A second variance is requested from section 15.03A, table 15.03-1 to allow an accessory building to be 1,350 square feet in lieu of the maximum 1,024 square feet permitted. And just so everybody knows, going forward for tonight, we have to vote separately on both of these variances, but you can present both variances at the same time if you would like. Please come up and present your case. Yeah, whoever wants to go first, you guys can take turns.
My name is Roseanne de Blasio. I'm Michael de Blasio's wife.
And your name, sir?
Mike de Blasio,
And your address?
10215 Bryan Drive.
And you've both been sworn in, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
We purchased a new house on Bryan Drive in April. And then I purchased this land beside the house because I need it for my old cars to store in. And I need that size of building to get 4 cars in, plus my equipment, my tractor, 2 tractors, and that's why I need a building that size. And the people I'm purchasing from, it comes in 30 by 30 or 30 by 45. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Is there anything else? Yes.
We came from Willoughby Hills. We had a beautiful barn. Everything was stored in there. Old cars. We're into old cars. We did sell a few, but we still have 2. Our vehicles that we use, we do have maybe more than normal people, but they're all nice. And we always contain our cars and all the yard equipment, everything in the barn, because we like it neat and we don't like to keep things out looking messy and sloppy. So at our other home, we had a double car garage, so 2 cars were in the front, and then in the back, I don't even know the measurement of the barn, but it was full. If we had our cars, we had everything, my husband's workbench, anything and everything. We had a pool before, so that was at our other home. So everything, this barn contained everything, and it was nice because it was safe, and no one knew what was going on outside of the barn or in our yard, and we just like to keep it, how would I say, just nice and neat. And now that we live on Bryan Drive, we love our home. We love everything about it, and we appreciate living where we live. It's really nice. And we have our cars in the front of the garage now because there's nothing, I mean, the garage is full from us. We're not even done moving our stuff out of the barn yet. So we do need what we need so we could be happy and contain everything and be neat. Because, you know, when you drive in a neighborhood and you see stuff all over or out of the garages or whatever, we don't live like that. We like to live nice and respectful.
Okay. I guess the first question I might have is just starting with the keeping the shed. You know, you're building the garage, but you still want to keep the shed. Can we talk through that? Because we only allow one accessory building.
Go ahead.
I gotta tell you, I'll be honest with you. That shed complements the house, and the house complements the shed. Right now, it's full, because we have no place to put anything that we would put in the barn or the garages. And I cannot see the sense of taking something so beautifully made, built according to an extension of the home. And I'll be honest with you, when I saw that, I thought that'd be my nice she shed. So, and I am insured by State Farm too. But anyway, if you know that advertisement, yeah, we are. So I love that she shed, and I just think it's the cutest thing. And it's going to be mine. I mean, right now my husband's renting it from me, but I love that she shed, and I cannot see. I know rules, I know regulations, but what is it hurting? It's behind the home. We've taken rides around Concord. We've seen some junk in yards and this and that. No, I think it complements the house and it makes everything nicey nice. And it's cute.
And you don't have any pictures of the shed or what the garage is going to look like in the packet? You didn't,
No.
no.
But if we come to another meeting, I'll bring you a picture of the shed. But you know what? It should be. If you go under our address of 102, 105, it shows the shed in the backyard.
Yeah, I can see it on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's
It's not his, it's mine.
the owner told me he had over like 3,000 in that shed. You know, it's built on like 4x4s because of the creek behind her. Sometimes it overflows.
Yeah.
And it's a well-built shed. I've never seen something like that.
It's just like the house, built very nice.
So the garage that looks like it's shown in here in the square.
Yeah.
The variance, is the variance for the 30 by 30 or the 30 by 45? You mentioned two sides.
30 by 45.
That's what I was calculating. Okay. So if you went to the 30 by 30, you would still need a variance, but not as much of a variance.
Yeah, but see, I can't get 4 cars in a 30 by 30, plus all my benches and cabinets.
Okay.
And the buildings are I'm thinking about going with metal, steel buildings, and they're fantastic looking. You can get them any color you want, roof, any color you want. And
Anyone else have any questions on the board?
You don't have a picture of what you intend to build right now?
no, I think Heather told me to go out there, and I called him. He says, well, see if you can get your permit or something to get going on this, and give me
Do you intend to add a driveway to the?
yes, I'm gonna have concrete in front of the garage doors.
How many garage doors will it have?
Approximately 3.
Where will they face?
2 garage doors will face the side of the house, and one will face the back of the house.
And is there anything between where you intend to put the building and the drive here, are there trees here or any kind of buffer?
The trees are, well, most of the trees are down. Just the 2 along the long driveway there, that's my neighbor's. And it's gonna be like, what do you say, 30 feet, 30, 40 feet.
Have you talked to any of your neighbors about this?
Yeah, Ken was supposed to come tonight, but
He was working.
he was working, so.
Has anyone provided you with a letter or indication they approve or disapprove of it one way or the other?
No.
Where's
Our
Ken
neighbors
live?
like us.
Where
I'm
does
not
the-
suggesting they don't.
No, I'm
just
being
curious.
funny here.
Where's the neighbor live that was gonna come to me? Is he across the street here, or is he behind you?
No.
He's,
Who, the one I bought the property?
No, who's gonna attend the meeting, Ken?
Ken, on that side of the driveway.
yeah,
Way
to
back
the
in the
right.
corner.
When you purchased this property, were you aware of the zoning
No, I wasn't.
restrictions?
No.
You didn't look into that before purchasing the home?
Well, you know.
It was a rough situation.
It was, it started off, I continued, if I got the property, I'd buy the house, and I almost lost the house, because Ken, his wife's got issues, he had issues, and
Health.
it would put it off for like 2 or 3 months, and, I didn't check and see, and I know the creek was there, but I didn't know you have to be 25 feet away from that creek. But I still think I got enough room.
I think our biggest issue as a board is not necessarily even the riparian setback, but more so the second building and purchasing the home and not aware of that. And you
Yeah.
indicated you had this in Willoughby Hills, not coming here.
All right.
So it's hard for us, you understand, we have to be somewhat consistent in these things and on behalf of the community enforce the code. And there's a lot of people who like to build a lot of different buildings. So I think to his point, was that something you clearly had these cars and intended to build another structure?
Right.
We never knew about rules. We just saw land. We thought, wow, this'll work. We saw the house, but we couldn't do either or. We had to do together. And
Well, really maybe by the houses on a cul-de-sac, and where we lived on Eddie Road,
Right.
it's 25-mile zone, people flying by their 40, 50 mile an hour. And plus we had a house with steps, and we had to get off the steps, so that's what put us in this direction.
I liked it.
Have you spoken with your neighbors?
Yeah.
Everybody on the cul-de-sac?
Oh, the one, Ken's got that,
Huge barn.
a huge barn. My neighbor next door's got a huge barn.
And then one across the street's got a real high one. That's, what's his name?
Tom's son.
Tom. It's real high. And
And
then,
the one behind me, he says, I gotta see this. He's got old cars too.
oh, yeah.
Tim, I can't remember the last name.
That's a tough one for us. At least for me, it feels.
I have a question. I know you look at drawings, but do you ever come out to really look at the real thing?
Yeah,
see-
sometimes, yeah, we go
You
out
know, to
sometimes.
visualize?
Yeah, sometimes we go out and it's up to each individual. They'll go out and take a look, or look on the, you can look from a map view too. Skip, do you have any questions for them?
I have something, if you don't mind.
No.
No, okay.
It'd be helpful, you mentioned coming back. I guess it'd be helpful for me to understand what exactly it is you want to put up. I'm looking at a map, nothing but a black square in it.
Okay.
And there's no architectural drawing, there's no other indication of where the driveways are gonna be, what the garages are, what the barn's gonna look like.
Okay.
It may be completely irrelevant, but I
Right.
think, for me personally, it would be helpful to make a decision to know exactly where it's going to be placed. Have you retained anyone who builds this building to give you a specific and direct notation as far as where it's going to be?
Well, I got it marked where it's gonna be.
Okay, and that's
That's all I got.
certain then, you marked it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want a picture of what we choose to have built?
Well, again, maybe it's irrelevant to everybody else, but it helped me, right now I'm looking at an overhead view with a black rectangular box in it.
Right.
And I understand you're telling me a 30 by 45, and that's in there, there's a notation of the riparian setback and so on, but it's a little bit
Yeah. I
hard
understand.
anyway I'm not very bright, so for me to try to visualize this, it's not the best thing.
Okay.
I don't think there's anything in the resolution that specifically talks about aesthetics. I can imagine that these folks are probably gonna erect something nice. And it is nice to have pictures, but I don't think it's all that important.
We have to have it looking nice because the house and the yard is nice.
Yeah, I understand, no question. I guess more so than seeing complete pictures of the color and everything else I want to do, I'm interested in the exact location. And maybe if that's it, and this is what it is, that's fine.
Well,
I just felt like maybe you weren't completely certain as to where you were going to put it, or what it was going to be, or where the doors were going to be, and so on.
Yeah, at first, when I was talking to Heather, I had to be 30 feet away from the creek. Well, in June, I had it looked like a pond over there.
Oh,
And so now I gotta go with a foundation, get it up off the ground, and go up with blocks so many, and then the other part sits on top of that. But I'll get a picture of what I'm gonna have.
Do you know how much this is gonna cost approximately?
Not too much. I mean, I figure around 25,000, 30,000, just on the building, not counting the concrete or nothing like that. So, I would like to go closer to the creek. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. Gives me more room in the front where I can pull out of the garage, because right now it's only gonna be 18 feet.
Yeah, we have a riparian buffer. You got to stay so far from the creek.
Right.
Okay,
That just
okay.
pushes you into another variance.
I got to ask you a question. That creek, where does it come from?
No, we can ask that question at a separate time.
Okay.
That's probably a separate meeting.
They gotta do something with it.
Have you considered an addition to the home as far as a garage or anything attached to the home? Has that been anything?
We did with Joe, but it would take the whole appearance of the house.
No.
No, it would be terrible.
I hate to butt into the house.
And you'd lose your windows and everything. Mm-mm.
Bedroom, your bedroom windows and the bathroom windows, all on that side.
Okay, that was a good thought.
What was your contingency if you weren't able to achieve this variance?
Can't
Oh,
move.
you got
What would you do as a
request.
backup?
I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna rent a garage
Yeah.
out in Madison for the winter. Because I don't want the cars in the truck. My truck has never been out in the winter. But, that's costing me like $200 a month. It's kind of expensive. You can do it right on your own property. Hope to God I can get something like that. I don't want to.
I think it's a need. I mean, if we didn't have what we have, then we wouldn't even be standing here, but where would we put everything? I mean, it's like we moved from one city to this city, and purchasing that land was like an answer, really, from above, so we could stretch everything out and house all our things we have.
If you came in and said, we're building a garage that's 1,024 square feet, I mean, you wouldn't have to be here.
I know that.
And you could just build it and be done with it. You'd
But-
need a variance for having two structures.
Well, let me ask you a question. If I didn't have that shed behind the house, how big of a building I go? What is that, about an acre and a half total?
The shed doesn't count into the square footage, does it?
The resolution states if you have less than 2 acres, you can have one accessory building as large as 1,024 square feet.
Yeah,
So-
so not
so
only
we went
so
for
this is our
variance.
dilemma. We have to approve you to have two structures. One's bigger than what you're allowed to have, then you combine that square foot of storage, you're blowing it out of the water on what our code allows you to have.
I
And
know
we're
rules and
looking
regulations,
for
that's
answers from
stupid.
you to help us make a decision here too. So, that's our kind of our difficulty. I mean, if you went to I'm not speaking for the board, but if it was a 30 by 30, I know it's a smaller shed, but it gets you closer to it, and it's still a standard size. You know, if you tell me, well, they don't have a standard size that's 1,024, but they have one that's the closest one, okay, I can kind of understand where you're
Well-
coming from there.
What if I could, they can make me one 30 by 40? Would that help me out any?
I don't know. We would want you to be as close to the 1,024 or under if we could be.
You know, I understand rules and regulations. We're old enough to know that. But who does it hurt that we're going to have a beautiful, maybe bigger, garages that are nice looking, put money into it, and we're investing our retirement and everything, to live there and to enjoy life the best we can.
Yeah.
Well, and our job is to, try and provide an equitable resolution to the zoning requirements.
I know rules.
All right. You guys have any other questions out on that side?
No questions?
No? Okay. You got anything else?
No.
No? Okay. Please
Thank
be
you.
seated. Thank you. Is there anyone else here speaking for or against this appeal that'd like to come up? Okay, there's no further questions. A public hearing for variance number 2019-47 is now closed to the public. I would like to entertain a motion to approve variance number 2019-47.
Second?
All right, open for discussion on the board. Who would want to start? Anyone?
Well, it's a big lot, and it seems like it can easily absorb that size. I know that it's a bigger variance than we like, but shame on all of us for not going out and looking at their lovely property, which I'm presuming is lovely. And, I mean,
I
can't...
drove out there.
I'm sorry?
I
You
drove
did?
out there.
So, is the property
beautiful.
lovely?
But,
None of the
It's
neighbors
nicer
have,
than the
none of the
others.
neighbors have any issues with it. If anybody had a big issue, they'd be here.
but I think, Heather, it's 1.137 acres,
Correct.
where the jumps is to 2.
Correct.
I mean, it is a bigger lot for Concord, but it's not anywhere near the 2 acres either. I looked at that too. I was trying to, trying to find a fit there. I'm sorry, but keep going.
That 2 acre thing, is that like a recent change in the last few years?
Not to my knowledge. No, I don't know what it is. I'm not sure when the township adopted that.
Well, how do you, so if we have 2 variances, how do you feel about the first one, having the 2 structures?
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments about just the first variance with the 2 structures? Because we're gonna have to vote on these separately.
And, I'm with Blair. We have a job to do, and there are constraints that we have to adhere to. Now, it is true that we vary from those constraints from time to time when people come in and ask us. But when that happens, and when we do allow it, they have usually met certain criteria, and they have usually shown that there's some difficulty in complying with the current code, some difficulty. You people are very nice, and I think this would be very nice, very nice. I don't doubt that at all. But I don't, there hasn't been an argument made by you that it's difficult to comply with the current requirements. No difficulty whatsoever. You just said, I want a 30 by 45. I want to keep my she shed. There's a lot of, I think, alternatives to solving this problem, and maybe not even having to come before us. So we take all these things into account. And I am. And I don't see a practical difficulty. I see a lot of other solutions to this problem that haven't even been looked at.
Maybe you
So-
can offer one or two of those, and do you have a problem with the two buildings?
Now, having said that, okay, I don't have a problem with what's being requested. So this is the concern, and what results on a larger scale and is that you begin to get this creep. And somebody requests an exception, they get it. Next person comes in and requests an exception, and they get it. And what happens is, more people come in with smaller lots and bigger buildings and more buildings, and they say, well, so-and-so did it, and I have the hearing, transcript from that, and this is where you granted it. So what's gonna happen over time? It may not seem like a big deal, and to me it actually doesn't, but when we're charged with not only enforcing the code, but interpreting why it was made that way. And I think one of the reasons why it was made is that this creep, if it gets going in 10 years or 20 years from now, there could be a huge problem. So that's my other concern, over and above the fact that you're very nice and I like this. So I think we're torn. I'm torn. I'm very torn.
We're always considering things mutually exclusively on this board. There could have been your creep back from years ago, but we're always considering things individually. This is a bigger lot. Shame on you for not looking into the restrictions, and we get this all the time, and that's unfortunate. So that's why, one of the big reasons why we're struggling, and with the size of the variance as well. I don't know if there's any way you can consider doing something smaller. Skip, did you have another solution that you could offer?
Well, I don't know that it's my job to provide another solution.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I could, I might, but I don't know that it's appropriate for me to even do that, sitting on this board.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
I'm just looking at the standards that we have to look at, the criteria, the Duncan factors, which we have to follow. And I just don't think they've been met.
Well, I mean, I think I'm over the two sheds. I think I could get over that and vote for that. My struggles with the size of the shed and the percentage. Blair, we usually kind of need doing the math and telling us what percent variance.
As Chris said, this is a very large
Very large, yeah.
variance. It's very close.
So,
Maybe it would be a
Size.
good idea to table it and have you come back with an alternative solution. I hate just to not do that and then have you pay again to come back.
I look at it, if the sheds come in standard sizes, that could be something that's a difficulty, right? But there's a standard size that gets them pretty close to the 1,024 square feet, but the difficulty on their end is that it does not fit up to 4 vehicles and some storage. Is that really a true difficulty? I'm not sure. But I don't know. I have a hard time, I can't see myself approving the 30 by 45 structure, but I can be convinced if someone has an argument.
I would say we approve two structures on certain occasions, depending upon
Yeah.
the circumstances.
And I think this one,
Yeah,
for me, could work.
I
Two
don't-
structures can work here.
I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I think that Skip's point is very well taken. The Duncan factors, the application of the Duncan factors don't rise to the level of allowing this variance, quite simply and quite frankly. Your suggestion, or Krista's, that perhaps it's tabled and we come back with something that's a little more definitive, and that was my question before, is there are a lot of shed builders out there. There's a lot of sizes, there's a lot of configurations. I was not referencing color or design or style or architecture along those lines, but something a little more definitive as to what exactly it is you're going to build. Maybe have that specification brought to us as part of the packet to show this is the exact size. Whether we approve or disapprove, it's still helpful to know that, and perhaps it's easier then to overcome the burden that you have to overcome. The suggestion that perhaps it's tabled might allow you a little more opportunity and time to build your case. And that's not to say that you didn't do a nice job tonight, but I think given more time and the benefit of time and investigation and perhaps consultation with neighbors or others, it only helps us. We're in I think, in a terribly difficult situation here, a bit of a conundrum, because as everyone's indicated, we're the board. Whether we want to be or not, here we are. This is a resolution we have to abide by, and then there's legal precedent we have to abide by as well. So my fear is that there are a couple people here, perhaps myself included, who are not going to approve this, and I'm speaking to them and speaking to the board. This is an awkward time here, but it's a tough spot to be in. And you didn't mean to put us in a tough spot. I get it. You moved to Concord. We welcome you here and glad to have you here. It's not anything suggesting otherwise, but I tend to agree with you that the size, it's still essentially a 1 acre lot. It looks like a large lot, and it is a large lot, but it's what, 1.1?
We have 1.1.
So it's 0.9 acres away. It's almost a whole acre away from the 2, and that's a pretty darn big building.
Looks like there's 2 big buildings on this adjacent lot.
I believe that's a pad.
Oh, it's a pad.
Hello, Pat.
Mr. Chairman?
Okay, yes.
Mr. Chairman, too, I do believe that we did close the hearing
We did
already,
close the
so I
hearing.
don't know that we can table it.
Oh,
We have to vote on it now. So.
I'm
We
not
can't-
legal counsel. I'm just a board member.
Yeah.
Where's our legal counsel?
He's,
I don't know where he is.
and we can't open it back up, right?
Why not?
why not?
Yeah.
Why can't we do it? Make a motion.
Yeah, we can, or yeah, we can't.
Well, it could be.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
I thought you said
two
something.
attorneys on here, let's
Well,
go.
I don't see any reason why we cannot reopen it. Could be wrong.
Hate to have them pay again.
No opinion on this?
Hmm?
No opinion on this?
I'm not sure.
Well, let's just put it this way. If we reopen it and it gets tabled and they save some money, we resolve the problem, it's really not administratively, procedurally, it's not going to be an issue. Who would bring it up? Who has the standing to bring it up?
Okay. Would the rest of the board like to
You can-
reopen
you
the
can
meeting?
Brandon says we can reopen.
No, Brendan didn't say that. I'm saying, I'm talking to the board. Would everyone's open to reopening the meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna entertain a motion to reopen the public hearing for
Second.
the Board of Zoning Appeals.
So moved.
Second.
Second, okay.
Favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Public meeting's been, I guess, just, we reopened it. Could you please come up? Okay, now that it's open to public meeting again, we can have a little bit more dialogue with you. So, what we want to, I guess what, you've heard the discussion here. You would have to make a statement that you'd want to table your variance appeal to the next month and come back for another vote. But what we're saying, what you're hearing us say is maybe with some more information, some letters of support,
Fine.
some of that stuff to
Have
help
someone
you.
make a
Drawing.
plan, a drawing and everything.
Yeah, right, and keep in mind the discussion that we've had regarding the square footage and what is allowed or is not allowed, what we're likely to consider in our decision regarding square footage and the location of the building.
So when you go to the builder, whoever he is, the Amish man or whoever,
I gotta go with a smaller building, is that what you're saying?
That's your decision.
That's my decision,
I think
okay.
you've heard our
Oh, yeah,
discussions.
yeah,
so-
yeah.
I think
Well,
what you're
we-
hearing from us is this is a board that doesn't like to tell people no if we don't
Okay.
have to. We're trying to be as
Exactly.
friendly to the Concord residents as we
Good.
can. We appreciate you're here. The more information you can give us to help us make a decision that might
Okay.
benefit you, the better.
Okay.
do I have this right in my head, that
Do you have a septic,
No.
or it's public?
what you want to go with,
The size of the building and the structure is gonna be looking like and where
with,
it's,
with the
where it's gonna be on the
variance,
property.
I mean, with what we are requesting, not wanting, but requesting, or what yous are,
Recommend.
So whatever
Stating.
you want to request.
okay, okay.
You've heard our discussion.
You heard
Yes.
us discussion, so you know what we're looking for.
Right.
You came in today.
Right.
Probably missed on hitting some of the hot button items that we're looking to get addressed. So we're giving you a chance to come back in, if you would like to do so.
Yes.
And try to address it maybe a little bit more thoroughly, to give you a better opportunity to pass the variance. As of right now, we can go ahead and take the vote if you want on both variances, but that's, you know, I'm not sure how the vote would go, but that's up to you.
I have to ask, yous are all allowed, you're invited to come out to look at the land, if you choose to.
Okay,
We definitely will.
Yeah.
so,
All right, let me get, I'm gonna go back out to the builder and tell him to draw me up a sketch of the building.
and just think about the size and what you want to present to the board,
Okay,
and really come prepared to state your case,
okay,
okay?
Typically, what's presented is a site plan,
okay.
you know, builder's site plan, and some kind of rendering as to what it will look like on the property.
Okay.
Where the drive will be, but,
Right.
you know, maybe show how the cars lay out. Whatever you feel like
Whatever it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be.
help
As
you,
much information.
Okay.
the more we have, it may
got
be
you.
a little bit easier for us to make a decision.
Okay.
So, for the record, can you state that you're requesting to table your variance appeals tonight?
How do we say that? We were requesting what?
To table your variance
To
appeals?
table the variance,
Okay,
Yeah,
meaning
Both of them.
Both
Both of them.
variance requests.
both, yeah.
And that would be until the August meeting.
Is that in August?
yes,
Yeah, we're in July already.
Would be
Yeah.
August 14th.
August 14th? So we gotta work hard to get that done before the 14th. Is
Yes.
that the next meeting
Meeting,
here?
yeah.
The 14th?
Yes,
Okay.
14th.
Well, then we'll talk to him.
okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much. Thank you.
Okay, so, there's no, you could be seated. Okay, the public hearing for,
Mr. Chair?
yes,
Oh, were you gonna make a motion to table it
yes,
then?
but, go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, is that it?
Sure, you were moving on to this.
Okay, but I gotta close the public meeting first.
No.
I don't have to close the public meeting? Okay, so I would like to have a motion to table variance number 2019-47.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it's been tabled and we'll see you next month. Okay, next is the approval of minutes. I don't know who was here at the last meeting.
I'm abstaining, I was not here.
I was.
You are abstaining as well?
Blair and I were.
We were here.
Okay,
Yeah, the three of us.
all right, so the approval of the minutes from June 12th, 2019. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, any discussion or deletions to the minutes? No? Okay, I'm looking for approval of the minutes from June 12th, 2019 as written. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye, all right, the minutes have been approved. The Concord Township meeting for July 10th, 2019 is now closed.